Your child's called India?
Yes, but that's because it's not related to a location. That's because it's
India
related
isn't
to
a location?
family.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK. Today we're looking at some of the biggest muppets to ever appear on This Morning.
And he said something very interesting there. He said it's nonsensical, and we say that's actually not true.
Number 10. Michelle Hall. Back in 2014, this lady managed to become the subject of national news, all because she claimed to be allergic to Simon Cowell.
He's just so frightening. It's when he looks, I just can't watch him. He's just...
While it's impossible to have a literal physical allergy to Cowell, like a peanut allergy, it's more than possible to have a severe unpleasant reaction to him.
It's just say...
I'll stop now.
I mean, can't most of us relate to a much milder degree? It's pretty bizarre they'd invite her on the show at all. But even more bizarre is the fact that they brought on a Simon Cowell impersonator to test it out.
What's your name, mate?
Andy.
Very good, Andy. Very, very good.
Number 9. Gordon Smith. Our next guest is a medium for a career, a pretty contentious job that a lot of people have difficulty believing. Usually mediums talk to dead friends and family, but Gordon Smith goes above and beyond the call of duty, adding animals to the list.
Do they speak to you?
I wish.
It's quite an unusual career path, and he even brought in some notes about guests' dead pets. Many viewers thought it was a scam, especially since he refused to do it live on TV.
The first thing I've got here was that he was with her grandfather.
Also, despite claiming he could talk to animals prior, live on TV, he admitted that he couldn't do it. Ironically, his website has a pop-up saying to be aware of scammers.
The lovely thing was I saw this beautiful big dog and I saw it running.
Number 8. Tales.com's Dog Christmas Song. Every December, Christmas music becomes entirely unavoidable. One Christmas back in 2020, This Morning decided to feature a special song written exclusively for dogs. The morons behind it were Tales.com, who had a woman with 22 dogs show it off.
Basically, music works with dogs the same way as it does with us.
For some reason, scientists put a lot of effort into making it as enjoyable for dogs as possible. Even though dogs have no clue what Christmas is, or why we celebrate it, maybe they'd like a Christmas anthem. Well, when they played it, they had the exact reaction most people would expect.
Oh, good girl.
Sit.
Oh, good girl.
Who's this?
I think it's safe to say dogs won't be celebrating the birth of Jesus anytime soon.
Yeah, they didn't really react. I was kind of hoping they'd all jump up at the squeaky toy, but...
Number 7. Melinda Messenger. The debate about whether vaccines are safe is a relatively recent one, kicking off around the turn of the century. Such ideas come from either misinformation or an affection for ailments like smallpox. One particularly foolish anti-vaxxer is Melinda Messenger, who appeared on This Morning back in 2016.
So the things that rang alarm bells for me were the number of cases where girls had been reported and that they had serious side effects.
They had her argue with a doctor who mentioned that the side effects of vaccines are much less harmful than the diseases they cure.
And what upsets me, Melinda, is the fact that you've actually come out into the public domain and said this.
Really, they should never have invited her on, since anti-vax rhetoric has been proven to be extremely harmful. Even though she embarrassed herself, the slim chance someone was convinced was not worth taking.
Death. Muscular system disorder.
Let's wait there. Death is as serious as you can go.
Number 6. Charlie Mullins. Back in COVID, many workers across the country were unable to work. As a response, the government introduced a furlough scheme, allowing people to continue living throughout the pandemic. During this period, the boss of a plumber's company, Charlie Mullins, decided to call everyone on furlough lazy.
Yeah, well, within 5 minutes of us explaining to them that the government are going to pay 80% of their wages, they was out the door within 5 minutes.
He did so from his Marbella holiday home, something viewers weren't hesitate to point out the irony of.
Well, you say I'm going to sack them, they don't want to come back and we don't want them back.
Mullins believed people only wanted to get furloughed so that they could chill on the beach, clearly forgetting Marbella is a seaside town, which as it turns out has plenty of beaches.
We run a business and fortunately we run a successful business.
Number 5. Flat Earthers.
The evidence that we've seen doesn't suggest that what we've been told is true.
The theory that the Earth was flat was originally proposed back in the age of antiquity, but by the 3rd century, the Greeks found strong evidence it was a sphere. Since then, Western cultures rarely disputed this view. That was until the 21st century. In 2018, a group of flat earthers came onto the show who confidently explained their severe misunderstanding of modern science. Naturally, Phillip Schofield was perplexed.
Sir Isaac Newton got that wrong, did he? Did he just get that completely wrong?
Well, I don't think he particularly got it wrong. I think we're told a lot of truths.
Even Brian Cox came on to explain the theory's outlandishness, but they weren't having it. Overall, it's quite sad to watch, highlighting a lot of flaws in the education system.
Is Brian Cox a liar?
I mean, you'd never call somebody, outright a liar, but is he mistaken? Absolutely.
Number 4, David Icke. One of Britain's most notorious conspiracy theorists and former footballers appeared in 2013. He came on to tell Britain about his extremely bizarre beliefs. After visiting a psychic, he decided he was the son of Godhead, and then released a bunch of books explaining his far-out conspiracy theories.
Before, there were puzzle pieces all over the floor. Now, suddenly, I can see how they fit together.
Eventually, publishers stopped working with him due to the many accusations of anti-Semitism. Icke's beliefs include thinking Earth is a hologram, basically saying we live in the Matrix, being controlled by powers we can't see.
I've been saying now for so many years in my books that this world is actually holographic.
This includes people like the royal family, who are pulling the strings behind reality. Since then, he's been banned from at least 25 countries, after claiming a secret Jewish group is spreading coronavirus via 5G.
This is in a sense, this place is hell.
Number 3, Samantha Brick. In 2012, Brick wrote for the Daily Mail, saying women hate her because she is too beautiful. Women generally hate her, apparently, because a few men find her attractive.
It's really difficult. When you're perceived as being attractive, other women do not like it.
Obviously, this was controversial, especially since there are so many attractive women who are also liked.
Do you regret writing this article?
No, I don't regret.
10 years later, she returned and said she'd become even more hated. She thinks that because she's getting even more beautiful with age, which many find to be ridiculous logic. All her haters beg to differ. They dislike her because they find her arrogant and judgmental.
Do you ever regret starting this in the first place? That initial article?
Oh, it's such a good question. No.
Number 2, Joe Marnie. All viewers with a modicum of empathy be warned. The next guest said some incredibly hateful things, which will be uncomfortable to hear.
I didn't mean to cause offence, but I think, in a wider, broader context of the things that I said, I think these are things that we need to be discussing.
In 2018, the 25-year-old Joe Marnie was dating the leader of UKIP, Henry Bolton, a man in his 50s. The pair became controversial because it turned out Marnie had said things many would consider extremely bigoted. They argued that everyone says stuff like this in private, plus it's good to discuss the topic of immigration.
But who can realistically say that they've never said anything offensive in private?
Bolton lost his party leadership to stay together with her, something he expressed no regret for. It's beyond surprising these two aren't the most offensive guests This Morning has ever had.
You just don't sound like a very nice person.
It doesn't sound very nice, no.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 1, Katie Hopkins. If being offensive was an Olympic sport, Katie Hopkins would be Britain's number 1 pick every time. Many believe it doesn't take much for Katie Hopkins to hate you.
I tend to think children that have intelligent names tend to have fairly intelligent parents.
Her multiple appearances on This Morning have been extremely controversial, with her never failing to push the limits of being judgmental. Every time she's been on, she's expressed remarkably unpleasant views.
This came from a really rather boring survey from a rather boring group of people called netmums. And so that was the evolution of this.
It makes you wonder if she genuinely does feel that hateful, or if she's simply stirring the pot to keep in the headlines. The millions of views her appearances get support the latter, but we'll never truly know.
AP, attachment parenting, is just one step away from CRAP, crap parenting.
Who do you think made the biggest fool of themselves on This Morning? Let us know in the comments.
kind of burst into my bedroom in the dead of night and kind of captivated me.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.